Hi, Dan.
Beebo, so good to have you at my house. Welcome.
Whoa, nice place.
Thank you so much. What brings you here?
Well, I was going for a walk and I was listening to your new music from the album The Iceberg.
Very cool.
And, well, then I realized that I don't really know what an iceberg is. So I figured I'd come over here and ask you.
You don't know what an iceberg is, Beebo. Would you like some help? Would you like me to explain to you what an iceberg is?
Yes, please.
All right, well, an iceberg is one of the most beautiful things in the world. But you have to understand a couple things first. Do you know what a glacier is? Oh, a glacier is very important to understanding an iceberg. Well, think about this. Have you ever seen snow before, Beebo?
Yeah, I've seen snow before.
So think about a land that's so cold that it snows, but then the snow doesn't have time to melt. So over time, the snow gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Yep, it gets so high. And then the snow gets so heavy that it compresses and compresses and compresses. It turns into ice. And then the ice is on the land. It usually happens in the mountains, or it happens all the way up in places like Greenland, which is on my shirt. Right?
Okay.
So the ice gets pressed throughout the whole land, and it's under such pressure that it actually starts to move like a river. Can you imagine that?
A moving
ice,
river of ice.
Yeah. And what happens is that when that river touches the open ocean, sometimes pieces of that ice fall off.
Oh.
So the water, the salt water of the ocean is carrying the fresh water of all the ice, and that floats away. And sometimes it can be huge. They can be super huge. Now down in Antarctica, they have icebergs that are bigger than some countries. There was an iceberg last year that was bigger than the country of Belgium.
Whoa. I don't know how big Belgium is, but it must be very big.
Well, is Belgium about the size of Massachusetts? Let's say about the size of Massachusetts or something like that. Pretty big place. That's where we live.
All right, yeah.
We live in Massachusetts.
I'm just learning my states now.
Massachusetts. So, anyways, an iceberg then breaks off of the glacier, and then it floats in the ocean. Now, most where we live, in the North Atlantic Ocean, all icebergs are from Greenland, or at least the vast majority of them are from a place called Greenland, and they float down. It takes a long time to float down, and we usually don't get them in Massachusetts, like at Cape Cod. Have you ever been to Cape Cod before?
No, not yet, but I will.
All right, well, Cape Cod, no, not often icebergs in Cape Cod, but if you go up to places like Newfoundland and other places where I went to go make this album, that's where you find icebergs. Now, an iceberg also has to be, it can't just be a small piece of ice. An official iceberg has to be 15 meters across, which is pretty big. Let's see what 15 meters is. That's about, you like to play basketball?
No, I'm pretty short.
Pretty short. Well, imagine 3 basketball hoops on top of each other. So that's how wide an iceberg has to be, which is pretty big, right? It's a pretty big piece of ice. But some of them are real big. Some of them are bigger than my house. Some of them are even bigger than the Empire State Building in New York City.
Whoa, that's pretty big.
It's pretty big, pretty big. Does that answer your question about what an iceberg is?
Yeah, I think so. But why are you singing about icebergs?
Well, think about this. I think it's a really beautiful, the other thing that I forgot to tell you, important fact, is that when the ice floats, you have the top of the iceberg, and only a little bit's on top, and then most of it, 90% of it, is under the water, so it's hidden from view. So you just see this, like my hand right here. See how most of my hand is under my hand? The little top right here is above water. But just like that, you know, sometimes if you see somebody going through a hard time, or you see somebody who's going through a struggle, you might only see the struggle that's on top, but you don't know what's underneath. You don't know what they're going through in their lives. So it's kind of an analogy. It's a way to me talk about my feelings in a poetic way.
Okay. Wow, yeah, sometimes when I get angry, I just feel a little bit. But then when I talk to my friends, I see that it has a lot more to do about my day and things that I was worried about. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or maybe what your mom and dad said to you early in the day, or just what kind of mood you're in and stuff like that. Exactly, that's what we're talking about.
Wow,
So I think
I've never thought about something like that before.
yeah, it's pretty cool though, isn't it? Now, the other thing about icebergs is that they're all sorts, just like my shirt, all different colors of blue. And they're very, very pretty. I'm sure that we're going to pull some photos up right here on the screen right now that you can see. Now, Beebo, weren't those some beautiful photos right there?
Yeah. I'm going to have to imagine them.
Imagine.
Wow, great picture of an iceberg right here.
Amazing. Amazing.
Okay, thanks, Dan. One more question.
Yeah.
Where's your bathroom?
Oh, the bathroom's just right inside through the kitchen.
Okay.
And don't worry, there's no icebergs in the toilet.
Oh, good. All right, see you later. Thanks, Dan.
Bye. That was nice.
There's an iceberg at the end of the world, and it shines and it shimmers like gold.
Windshield wipers go faster, faster, faster. You're not turning fast enough, no. All this rain's going to run me off the road. Oh, all this rain's gonna run me down.